All right, now in sport, Nathaniel Atto has been speaking with GFA President Kwesi Nyantakyi on the state of Ghana football at the just ended two-day summit held in Cape Coast.
This is a key part of executing, our flagship competition, which is the league. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the league, especially at the recent symposium that, you chaired, where so many ideas were brought forth. Now, one of them was that the league breaks for the World Cup. Now, those who make the argument that we synchronize once again with Europe, that whole argument that goes back and forth about our leagues and synchronizing it with Europe, where then does it sit? Because I've heard a few key people in the industry say that, we need to have a conversation about the timing of our league so that, we don't get these clashes too often.
Yes, for those of us who own clubs, it offers many benefits to us when we have the league scheduling being the same or coterminous with the European calendar. We tried it about 8-7 seasons ago, and it worked. Then internal wrangling and litigation led to some tampering with the league scheduled. People took the FA to court, and that delayed the start of the league. And that is what has brought us where we are now. Now we're struggling to realign again. It might take us 1 or 2 more years to realign. But I think that at the end of the day, it is better for us to align with the European calendar. So when it's time for players to move to Europe or elsewhere, it's easier and doesn't affect the team and doesn't affect the league as a whole. It also affords the FA the advantage of gaining easy access to players for releases to national team call-ups. And so when there is an international break, it's easy. The league, we're going for pre-season, it's about the same time. And so players are ready to play for national team, they are ready to play for their club, and the breaks are just around the same time. So the advantages are common, and we can't overlook that. We're just hoping that we'll be able to realign this so we can go back to the status quo ante and then enjoy the same advantage. But when we have it the way it used to be, which we find ourselves now, there are many disadvantages that come with it.
Let's talk about the financing of the league, the sponsorship support for the league. It's been a difficult past season where at a point stakeholders came together under your leadership to say, we are playing the league no matter what the situation is. Now, what's the arrangement to start positioning the league properly in terms of professionals who are coming together to say we're marketing the league, we're taking it to the sponsors so we can sell to you, bring the idea so that we bring you on board? What's the plan going forward? Because you look back and you do not necessarily see a setup that will specifically handle, who are given, targets and all of that to handle sponsorship solely for the league.
I think that you hit the nail right on the head. At the last summit of the executive committee in Cape Coast, this was one of the key decision points that was made. And the point is that we are changing the structure for management of the league in Ghana. We are introducing more or less professionals to manage the league in key functional areas. And one of them is marketing. We're going to set up a structure that will have a general manager. We'll have 3 functional managers or directors or whatever you call them. 1 in charge of marketing, 1 in charge of competitions, and 1 in charge of the media. And the 1 in charge of marketing will have the responsibility of designing products and coming up with strategies that will make the league attractive to sponsors. He or she will have to market the league and carry the league as a product to the doorstep of people who will be interested or potentially who will be interested in identifying with the league. So we want to see a change, and that the engagement of these professionals should be a watershed moment for the management of the league. That should be an occasion for us to depart from the status quo where, excuse me to say, anybody at all was engaged to manage the league. And so we're going to identify really competent people with proven track record, with the requisite qualification and experience to drive this agenda. And we hope that it will make a difference from the past, and it will make the league attractive, or it will market the league in a way that will be able to attract sponsors. Already we've made a few headways in bringing sponsors, but we will leave this in the hands of the sponsors to package them well so that we can derive the maximum benefit and also offer the sponsors the needed benefits that they deserve. Because it's not going to be a philanthropic gesture. It's going to be on a quid pro quo basis. The sponsor is coming, and in return, he's coming to give you money, and in return, he expects a certain benefit to be offered to him. So it's value for money. It's not a donation. It's not a charity that we're going to run. And I believe that it's going to be mutually beneficial and a win-win situation for both the FA on one hand and sponsors on the other hand.
In terms of final execution, what are the timelines? Because the upcoming season is a few months away. And so how are we going to go about it? Are we starting these plans almost immediately, or we would have to do that midway through the season? What's going to happen?
Fortunately, this does not require the approval of Congress. The structure, the management structure of the league does not require the approval of Congress. So once the executive committee approves it, it has immediate effect and will be implemented as soon as possible. The executive committee is meeting again on 22nd of December to do the operational aspects of the decisions and then make sure that an implementation timetable is put in place to give practical and real effect to the decision that has been taken. And so I am very hopeful that a process will be set in motion very soon to attract and recruit these professionals, and then they will be engaged as soon as possible and then given targets to execute these tasks. So I see that happening before the start of the season in February.
All right. Finally, you were at the draw for the FIFA World Cup. Now, as you sat there, I mean, this is the first time in 3 World Cups that you are not you're sort of an outsider, even though you are a key part in terms of administration. Tell me what your thoughts were when all of the clubs were being balloted for, and the teams were being balloted for, and all of that. That we're not there to answer that roll call for the first time in these years.
In fact, you must put it in its proper context and perspective. This will be the first time in 12 years that Ghana will not attend the World Cup. From 2006 to 2018 will be 12 years. And we have been to every World Cup since 2006 on 3 consecutive occasions. So going to the World Cup has become a regular part and parcel of our lives. And so for me, it is an anticlimax. I am not happy about it. It's a big disappointment to me as a person and as head of the federation. I think that it's not encouraging at all that the roll call of heavyweights in world football will be called or made, and Ghana will not respond to it. But I think that we can't do anything about it. We can't cry over spilled milk. We just have to put the past behind us, go back to the drawing board, and then re-strategize and look forward to 2022 and ensure that Ghana doesn't miss the boat the next time we go to the World Cup after Russia 2018.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your time. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's it for sports with Nathaniel Atto there. We're wrapping up, but before that, quick one news just coming in. We understand that a student of the Damangu Senior High School has passed on, whilst 5 others are on admission at the West Gonja District Hospital. They suspect meningitis, but it's yet to be confirmed. We'll be bringing you more on that in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, you can log on to myjoyonline.com for more news and information. We also have some of our videos. If you scroll all the way down, some of our videos from here on the JoyNews channel there, so you can have a look at what's been happening since morning.